Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today is going to be a fun one because my largest holding in my entire portfolio, CleanSpark, CLSK, over the past 2 days is up more than 25% after reporting their earnings on Wednesday after hours. Year to date, CleanSpark is now up over 216%, and this move over the last couple of days is coming as a result of something extraordinary that happened. So in today's video, I'll be discussing that. I'll also update you on my personal valuation and price target for the company, and I'll also discuss a couple more improvements that I think the company can make moving forward. Now, this 25% move over the last couple of days in its own right is extraordinary because typically with Bitcoin mining stocks, we don't expect them to move very much on earnings reports because we don't get all that much new information because these companies give us monthly updates on how their business is going, how many Bitcoin they're mining, how their hodl balance is growing, so we generally have a good idea of what earnings are going to look like. But that's not the case for CleanSpark because on Wednesday, they announced that their 16 exahash per second expansion was fully funded. CleanSpark is now the first Bitcoin mining company that can say that their expansion is fully funded, which takes a lot of risk out of this investment. We now don't have to question whether or not the company has the resources available in order to meet their heavy expansion goals. Now, I just want to cover really quickly, you guys are also extraordinary. That's my favorite word in this video. I had 1.8 thousand people tune in for my CleanSpark Q3 2023 earnings live stream. Absolutely crazy, but you guys backed yourselves into a corner. You shouldn't have done it. I got over 200 likes on this live stream. So in this video today, I'm expecting at least 200 likes. So hit the like button down below. Also, my channel's on pace to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of August, but it's going to take everybody. So make sure you're subscribed down below if you're not already. And beyond that, I had a CleanSpark tweet that went semi-viral, pretty much viral for me. I said, CleanSpark, over the last 2 years, I've mentioned two words relentlessly. You guys probably got tired of it. I know you did, don't lie. Efficiency and execution. I don't know how many times I mentioned those two words when talking about CleanSpark. There is no Bitcoin miner with better execution. There is no Bitcoin miner with better efficiency. This is only the beginning, but take a victory lap, bulls. We saw an opportunity while others laughed. We found a needle in the haystack. We went against the grain. We found a diamond in the rough. We did the research that nobody else cared about. For the longest time, it seemed like everybody that invested in the Bitcoin space was laughing at CleanSpark shareholders because no matter what, it just seemed like CleanSpark was going to underperform every other asset by a wide margin for years and years and years and years to come. So they laughed at us. They laughed at me when I said that execution matters. They laughed at me when I said efficiency matters. But I finished up this tweet by saying we will be rewarded again and again and again for it. For as long as I'm blessed with a YouTube channel with a loyal follower base, I vow to never change. I will not go after what's hot like other YouTubers do. I will go after opportunity. With CleanSpark, there was opportunity. It was not hot. We got laughed at for investing in CleanSpark, but there was an opportunity and there remains an opportunity. This tweet, by the way, had 12,000 views, 14 reposts, 154 likes, and whatever a bookmark is. We got 4 of them. Whoever these 4 people were that bookmarked it, thank you. But moving back to the earnings, in the earnings press release, they also announced that their current cash and Bitcoin holdings had a value of $125 million. Absolutely crazy. CleanSpark has surprisingly one of the best balance sheets in the entire stock market. Now, yes, I understand this is just a $1 billion company, so it's not saying a lot, but their balance sheet is extremely healthy. So again, the management team has controlled the controllables. They've taken lots of risk out of this investment because of the things they've done. Gary Vee, the company's CFO, I never even try and say his last name because Vecchiarelli, I don't know. Creating certainty is an important part of our strategy. They're absolutely creating certainty. They're creating as much certainty with this investment as they possibly can. They now have more than sufficient capital to fund our remaining contractual payments on miners and construction to achieve our 16 exahash per second goal. CleanSpark also is a profitable company right now when it comes to adjusted EBITDA, which increased to $13.3 million during the quarter. But the balance sheet of the company is what gets me most excited about this company right now. As of August 9th, so this previous quarterly report that came out was for the months of April through June, we actually got updated numbers from the management team, which is really, really nice. As of August 9th, so as of just a couple days ago from when I'm recording this video, the company had a cash balance of $92.4 million and almost 1,200 Bitcoin held on their balance sheet, which is where they came up with this figure that their current cash and Bitcoin holdings valued $125 million. And as of a couple days ago, the company only had about $18 million of long-term debt outstanding, and you would seriously struggle to find another company that has a better balance sheet than CleanSpark right now, especially a sub $1 billion company. Now, this is one of the improvements that I would make personally if I was the CFO of the company. $18 million of long-term debt outstanding. Sure, not much considering the amount of cash you have and the amount of Bitcoin you have. But based on the most recent income statement that we have access to, we can see that they had interest expense of $689,000 in the most recent quarter, $800,000 in the quarter before that, and almost $900,000 2 quarters prior to the most recent one. So yes, this interest expense every single quarter seems to be going down quite a bit by around $100,000. But if we annualize these numbers, the company's paying between $2.5 and $3 million in interest expense every single year. Now, yes, that's not a whole lot, and yes, that number is going down, but as the CFO, if I'm the CFO of the company right now and I have the means to pay off this debt and avoid these interest expenses, I'm doing so. I'm getting this stuff off my balance sheet. I'm getting this stuff off my income statement because what's the point of it? As of the last quarter, so keep in mind these numbers have increased dramatically because of the amount of cash and Bitcoin they've added to their balance sheet since June 30th. But as of June 30th, they had total assets of $650 million and they had total liabilities of $49 million, giving stockholders equity of $603 million. But if you would just get rid of this debt, it looks even better. All of a sudden, you only have around $30 million in liabilities, and your stockholders' equity would go up to $620 million. And don't get me wrong, this company and this management team have done so many good things for the Bitcoin mining space. You know, this space has lacked business integrity and financial discipline forever. It's driven me crazy. I've made videos about other Bitcoin mining stocks and calling out their lack of financial discipline. I don't do that because I'm wishing for those companies to fail. I do that because I want this industry to be better and do better for investors and all stakeholders. CleanSpark continues to be the poster child and they continue to make all of these improvements. They're really leading the pack. They're pulling all the rest of the other players with them. This management team has done an outstanding job. This is just a small criticism and maybe even a suggestion for the management team. Now, yes, a lot of you might be saying, okay, this is all great. Their balance sheet looks phenomenal. Their income statement looks pretty good. But this cash had to come from somewhere. Where did they come up with this cash if they didn't add debt? Well, obviously it came from equity. As of August 9th, so a couple days ago, they had 152 million shares outstanding. That is a lot of shares outstanding, and that number has grown significantly. So the company ended up selling new shares to the open markets to raise all this additional cash that they had as of August 9th. And yes, it sucks. Dilution has always been one of the biggest risks with investing in Bitcoin mining stocks, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. But it could be changing for CleanSpark over the short term, which gets me even more excited about this investment over the next 12 to 16 months. I think this could be the most lucrative opportunity for Bitcoin mining companies and investing in these companies that will ever exist. Towards the end of April of next year, we're set to have the next Bitcoin halving event where the block reward for mining Bitcoin gets cut in half. So essentially, all things constant, these Bitcoin mining companies would mine about half the Bitcoin they're mining today. However, because the Bitcoin network is designed in a way that it is literally a requirement for miners to mine Bitcoin in order to keep the network secure, mining Bitcoin needs to remain profitable for enough people. Moving forward, scale and efficiency is going to be a big, big deal. Honestly, after the 2028 halving, I believe there's only going to be 2 to 3 to 4 Bitcoin mining companies out there that are still publicly listed. And I do believe CleanSpark's going to be one of them. because of the efficiency and execution I've talked about. They have 96% uptime across all of their facilities, and that number is only going to go up. I would guess that at the end of 2023, this 96.19 figure is going to be about 98% uptime for the company across all of its campuses. But perhaps even more importantly, CleanSpark has one of the lowest cost of powers in the entire industry. All things considered, including wholesale electricity, transmission and distribution, taxes, and profit margin to the city, CleanSpark's total cost of power is sitting at just above 4 cents per kilowatt hour. It is going to be these most efficient companies that survive these next couple of halving events and completely dominate the total Bitcoin mining opportunity. But the reason I think it could really be CleanSpark's time to shine over the next 12 to 16 months is because we're really not expecting the company to have to dilute shareholders anymore. All of the other companies that are publicly traded can't make that claim. All of the other companies are going to have to dilute shareholders from here over the next 12 to 16 months. CleanSpark, if they don't want to, they don't have to. So yet again, this is another risk that the management team has taken out of this investment. Sure, we had a lot of upfront dilution over the last quarter and especially over the last month, but all this upfront dilution means the company doesn't have to dilute shareholders anymore if they don't want to, and personally, I don't think they will. The executive chairman of the company has sat down in a couple of interviews and said that following the April 2024 halving event, they plan to slow down their growth while the market and industry kind of finds its footing. And by the time the market settles down and finds its footing and this Bitcoin halving event takes place, hopefully debt will be an option to finance these companies once again. At that point, CleanSpark could choose to take out debt rather than dilute shareholders. So, knock on wood, the vast majority of dilution for shareholders of CleanSpark could now be in the past, especially if attractive debt does come back into the marketplace and CleanSpark takes advantage of it. Now, this is where my next suggestion for the management team comes into play. They say in their investor presentation that they own 3.2 million square feet of real estate and infrastructure. If debt does come back into the marketplace and debt does become an option to raise money, I would highly suggest the management team to leverage the real estate that they own, leverage the infrastructure they own to take out this debt. Hopefully, if you choose to leverage the real estate rather than the Bitcoin or the Bitcoin miners themselves, you'd get much more attractive debt because real estate will always be here. There's no question about that. Land will always be here. Bitcoin, yes, we believe that it will be here for a very, very, very long time, if not forever. But there still is a risk out there that Bitcoin could fail, which is why bankers and institutions and all of these potential lenders are kind of skittish on this industry right now. They're taking a risk with their debt that they don't have to take. So by putting up the real estate as collateral rather than the Bitcoin on your balance sheet or the Bitcoin miners, you would think they'd be able to get much more attractive debt. Now, for the valuation and price target, you probably would notice that my price targets for every year going until 2030 went up slightly. This is a direct result of me increasing the company's total balances for every single year. I've increased all of these numbers significantly, and chances are I will even be low. By 2030, I have the company holding 19,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I would not be surprised if this number actually ends up being 30,000, but I will adjust this as we get closer to 2030. So, because I believe Bitcoin is going to succeed in a huge way, and because I do believe that Cathie Wood's $1.5 million per Bitcoin could come true by 2030, I see the company right now as 5,526% undervalued. I believe that if I hold CleanSpark stock until 2030, the share price will reach $352. And this is even considering 38% annual reoccurring share dilution. Don't forget what I just talked about in this video. The vast majority of dilution for CleanSpark shareholders could be history now. So this 38% annual share recurring dilution could actually be very high. And if it is high, my price targets just go up. Now, I do understand that not all of you are going to believe that Bitcoin could go to $1.5 million by 2030. That's why this is a spreadsheet. You can download this spreadsheet and change the Bitcoin price that you think we're going to get in 2030 to come up with your own price target and valuation. This spreadsheet is available to all of my paid monthly members in the Discord server. It's the cheapest membership on YouTube. We have a lot of fun in there. And if you don't find value in the membership, I will 100% refund you. So if you want to join and get access to my spreadsheet, as well as my market analysis, my week ahead forecast, etc., hit the join button down below or hit the link in the pinned comment to my Patreon page and join the membership. We would love to have you. But with that, I'm going to end this video here. If you want more information on the background of that spreadsheet, go watch the video in the upper right hand corner. Click the I. It'll take you to my video where I discuss the spreadsheet more in depth and how I come up with my numbers. But with that, have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed. Keep 10 toes to the ground and your chin up. Peace out.